Semino, hello, I am Nara, and today we are going to be explaining and just probably answering some thoughts. So, as you can see, we have been studying and we've seen that textbook Mongolian is actually different from 5 lines. There's something called teeth go 0.4% of the way to the second line. So we've basically made it easier. So if you're seeing your textbook in Mongolian and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense because I've been learning something different, well, that's just making it a whole lot easier. This is called textbook Mongolian, and you will see some very obvious differences.
Yeah. Let us show the textbook first.
Yeah.
So here is the textbook. When we learn the traditional or classical Mongolian script, we're using these types of textbook first for the beginner. It's called Chagantalge, means Mongolian alphabet. Yeah. And then first thing we are learning is this one, all right?
Yeah. The components.
The component, and then the 5 line. So this 5 line is very small,
yeah.
and I have to be look very carefully.
Yeah.
So would you wanna explain the difference here?
Yeah.
For example, this teeth.
Yeah. It's basically everything is minuscule. So there is the crown doesn't go as far as we normally do it. The tooth goes 0.2% of the way to the second line. The back is basically the same. The shin goes to where we write the tooth, and the belly is the same. Tail number 2 is basically the same, and nearly everything else is the same.
Yeah, so what we recommend is just picture this or picture this in your mind, and then look very carefully when we start writing the each component. So in this case, we will not make wrong in the future, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, we learned sa, so, shi, so yesterday, and then when we write this one, actually the first one to write after this crown is not it is a tooth, but it's only occupy half of the line, right? Not going to the first line. So here is the textbook. Okay, just try to make it bigger. Sa, so, shi, so. So please look very carefully about all the lines, 5 lines, and then the position of the tooth, shin, belly, tail, stuffs, right?
Yeah, but because we didn't do textbook Mongolian because we thought it was just easier so that everything connected to a line, so you wouldn't have to be like, oh, is that too long, is that too short? Because we wanted everything to be the exact same. But textbook Mongolian is a whole other story, and it's just going in the middle sometimes, in the quarter of the line sometimes.
Yeah, probably the 5 lines, it's only for you to give you some measure, make you write straight. So we don't need to too strict about this 5 lines.
Yeah.
Because when I was small like Nara, we practice only with 1 line.
Yeah.
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 And then when we grow up, get used to this letter script, we don't use line anymore. So for the beginner, when we write it, 5 lines.
Yes.
It's a bit difficult because we need use the 1.5 line at first, like this. For example, write Nara. Na go here, right? Half. Na, and then R to here. Write like this. Dot is somewhere here.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look like this.
Yeah.
So, because we have the textbook, so we can refer to this textbook, but probably our listeners, you don't have this textbook.
Yeah.
So please just have a close look of this one.
Yeah.
And then this one too.
Yeah.
Maybe later, all right?
Yeah.
Maybe later we can
Yeah.
copy this one and then attach to the link, or we'll sync some way to to share this one as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
But we're just making it easier for beginners because, like me, I like everything to be like, is that too long? Is that too short? Because I want to know where everything goes. So we kind of thought up a way of connecting every single letter to like nearly every line. And we thought that was easier for beginners because you want to know like where it actually goes than just having a line to make it straight because you actually don't know how to write it yet.
Yeah.
But those textbook Mongolian is for people who know how to write it. They just want to get it like more straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the purpose is for example for Nara, we need a certain kind of stuff where the tools should stop, where the sheen should stop in a 5 line, all right? Yeah. So just if you have any question, please write on the comment. Yeah. So at the beginning, everyone will start with this 5 line, and then later you may need only 1 line, 1 straight line, and then write like this. Na, yeah, 1 line, and then once you get used to it, so you don't need to write a line anymore. Na, yeah, it's totally fine. Some people have a very beautiful writing, all right? Some people like me doesn't write it that beautiful, but still, people will recognize this one. It's Nara. Yeah. Would you wanna bring that one, that character there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Once if you becoming a professional, look at this.
Very straight.
Yeah. So this is unrecognizable based on the 5 lines, all right?
Yeah.
Actually, this is called Mongol khil. Yeah, Mongolian language, Mongol khil. Yeah. So I wish if you eventually go to this point. Yeah. So for the beginners, it starts from 5 line, later go to 1 line, and then without line, and then if you wanna go a bit further beyond that, you'll reach this one.
Become a professional.
Yeah. Let's say. Yeah. So the main point here is have a very close look at this one more time.
Maybe take a photo of it so you can refer to it when you're writing.
Yeah. So this is the part of it, and then we haven't learned this yet, so it's okay for now. When we learn this other like pa pa, we will do this one more time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the update of the 5 line. We find the 5 line how the 5 line works or doesn't work. Yeah.
So just again, you don't have to really do like both of these at the same time. You can choose one like which suits you better. If you want to get your writing straight, you can use textbook Mongolian. But if you're just a beginner like me and don't know what to do, just use 5 lines like our way because it just makes it easier so you can actually know like if it's too long, too short, just what to do.
Yeah. So actually, let me write here. Let me write without line, okay?
Yes.
Without line, Nara. Because we've been writing for this for so many years, so we have kind of sense it is okay. But for the beginner, if without this type of line, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But please don't be too strict to those lines.
Yeah. You can just go a bit further.
Yeah. So
maybe
for example, these tools, it's okay to make it like between the second line and base line, and then the sheen is a bit longer than that. Yeah.
Just use this as a reference so you can also create your own 5 lines.
Yeah.
So it will be for your personal needs and what you think is suitable for your type of writing.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the most proven style to use the 5 lines. Many people in Inner Mongolia are using this one, and then it works well for the beginner. Okay, So,
Okay. But I hope to see you next lesson.
Yeah.